Doctor, we are living at a time when most African economies are facing shocks from the COVID-19 pandemic. They are also facing shocks from the Russian-Ukraine war. And we know that the development indices is being hinged on the gross domestic product. Do you think that it's time to re-strategize Africa's economic policy towards a climate action prism? And if yes, what advantages can that have on the economies of African countries?
The best way to do this is that the classical economic policy that was premised on only GDP doesn't work anymore, because GDP is not going to be sustainable under the changing climate. It's going to be what we call productive economies now, where each and everyone benefits as a result of the actions that are happening wherever they are. Because GDP misses are the bulk of the population. That a mother in a village in southern Nigeria or in northern Cameroon or in eastern Cameroon or in the northwest part of the country doesn't have access to finance will be regarded as if she is on a per capita income of $400 a year. It's not true. So the point is that the economic model under the changing climate is that every action that is done when it comes to budgeting, every action must be linked to climate action solution. For example, when we take clean energy, it must be about development, and the development means that the off-grid, over 65% of people in Africa who don't have access to electricity, solar energy is the easiest off-grid that can be able to reach them. When investments are put on that, that will drive economic growth, because that electricity will provide light and at the same time could be used to add value. That's the model of economic. So economic model that needs to be used to grow and transform Africa is actually a climate model. And therefore, good climate policy is good economic policy. That agricultural production cannot just be about using fertilizers. It needs to move away from chemicalized fertilizer to biofertilizer and organic fertilizer. And that any budgetary allocation should then go to support these environmental friendly solutions. And that taxes being taxed on initiatives that are green climate driven initiatives should actually be waived so that those can be brought to scale. And that any economic formula without climate action in it, in terms of the actions on the ground, is wrong economic policy. And so overarchingly, to answer your question, climate action is an investment opportunity, and all investments to drive economic transformation of the country must be seen through the climate lens. That means moving away from fossil fuel driven kerosene, petrol, to now biogas driven, briquettes driven, and of course solar power, wind driven. And that investment will drive opportunities for people both in urban and rural areas.